Hello, everybody. Eddie J on crypto. I might be talking a little bit slow because I took a fall yesterday and hurt my right shoulder, so I'm a little bit in pain. But let's get to it today. A lot of things going on. Told you this is a big earnings week. We were hoping for some good earnings from PayPal. They got crushed, and they're still whining about this whole um, spin-off from eBay being painful and yada 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 blah blah blah. Bottom line is they didn't do well. They're getting crushed. What is it? I think this morning they were at 19% off their value, so that's huge, right? They are talking about publicly about developing their own PayPal stablecoin, hoping that will stave off some of the bad news that they have. Probably. Um, that could be a good idea. I know they hold a bit of Bitcoin, um, but that's fine. But everybody else seemed to smash. I mean, if you look at AMD, they killed it. A lot of the miners are using AMD processors to do their mining, so they killed it. How does crypto react today? We're in the red. Let's go take a look. So look at this, and this is as of right now, right? I mean, just everybody's red, 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 red. I'm not expecting much here, not expecting much here, but for the most part, near protocol, okay, great, 1.27%, but really, that to me is basically midline. But I mean, we're taking big hits though. I mean, look at Algorand down 2.25%, Atom Cosmos taking 5% down, Mana getting crushed 6.38% down for the day. So when you look at these numbers, nobody's really hitting it out the park. I mean, ICP, I don't know who they are. I'd have to go take a look. I really don't know who they are. Obviously some kind of news happened. Not sure. um, must be pretty solid. They have a market cap above 4 billion, but that's something to take a look at. But for the most part, you have ETC that hit up a little bit, but none of those that are up are anything that I'm interested in. So I'd have to do research in those to find out even what they're doing. Um, Disappointed that VeChain is not moving up. I still believe they've got crazy potential. But yeah, it's just been an F day. It really has been. And you have all these companies that are killing it. Google came out killing it, crushed all of their numbers. So this whole idea that cryptocurrency space is the tied to Nasdaq, tied to tech stocks. I'm not seeing it anymore. I think it's decoupled quite a bit, considering a lot of those companies are up, cryptos are down. I think they're just not necessarily shenanigans, but I just think things are bouncing around for the sake of bouncing around. Um, but there is a lot of news. I already told you about AMD smashing it. Um, Block. This is crazy. Now, Block wants to build a decentralized fiat on ramp. And what that means is, so far, the only way you can put money into crypto is by hitting one of these, centralized exchanges, FTX, Coinbase, just name one, it's centralized. That exchange is centralized and the government can look in on what's going on there and stop transactions and all that good stuff. So, what are the chances of Block and Jack Dorsey being able to create, excuse me, this whole decentralized fiat on ramp? It would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I think that would be awesome. But I think the chances of them getting it by the regulators, that's going to be tough, at least in the United States. I think that's going to be tough, really tough. So there could be more than just a little bit of difficulty there. Um, if 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 people are wondering about what would it take to do something like that, I mean, there are those that do OTC trades, right? Here's a wallet, Duke, and you give me cash. This isn't hard. You had the $3.6 billion from the Bitfinex exchange actually moving yesterday. So that's one of the ways that money could have moved. I mean, in this case, that money moved and they were able to track it, via blockchain. But what happens if those wallets that they move to are standalone wallets and they just hand it to somebody for cash? So, this whole decentralized fiat on ramp thing truly would be amazing. But there are still ways that people will find to delve into the cryptocurrency space that, it's hard to track. Um, it's tougher. It's a lot tougher now than it ever has been. But I think there are smart people out there that know how to do it, and they do it for nefarious reasons. Most likely for me, I don't mind paying my taxes because to me, I try to tell this to people. If you're paying taxes, that means you made money. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'll pay my taxes. I have no issue with that. Pay my taxes, move on. Don't have anybody looking over my shoulders. Sleep well at night. Boom, finish. Um, Tom Brady, as you know, has, and this isn't an NFL thing, it's a Tom Brady thing. Tom Brady has retired, and that's, significant in and of itself. Um, People would call him the GOAT. I can't really take away from that. He's got the most Super Bowl rings, but that's not what's important. What is important is what he's doing after that, besides his family and his kids and all that good stuff. Um, it's really the fact that he will continue to be a spokesperson for FTX, but he's jumping into the crypto space with an NFT startup. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens beyond that. Um, on another note, totally outside, if Tom Brady is out, I would think that Gronkowski's out too. So I'm just waiting for that. It's just a little thing. Um, so that's kind of an interesting thing that's going on. And I heard some news that MicroStrategy in the last quarter bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin. Staggering. And then to kick off the year, what do? They buy another 25 million of Bitcoin. Now think about that. That means they have not forgotten about, what they believe is going on with Bitcoin and where Bitcoin is going to go and what they think Bitcoin is going to do. That says a lot. That says a ton. Um, what else do we have? This is actually painful to talk about. The United States is carrying over $30 trillion in debt. Just let that wash over you for a minute. $30 trillion in debt, as my little doggy joins me in the room. Um, that's another reason why people are going to start really rushing over to cryptocurrency. You're also going to see, companies take advantage of that because you're going to see a lot of cryptocurrency commercials in the Super Bowl, straight up. And that means that, yeah, it's here, it's mainstream. I think things are about to change in a major fashion. I think, at the very least, when the Super Bowl happens and those commercials drop, I think you're going to see a huge uptick in cryptocurrency right there. And that could actually be the catalyst for driving cryptocurrency further up for a while. So that's a big deal. Grayscale starting an ETF is also another big deal. Um, just the size of the company, what that company does, managing digital assets, that's going to be a big deal. I think that's another catalyst that stands on the side of cryptocurrency is probably going to take off soon. When, I can't tell you. I just think it is. I'm not one of these people that's going to get on here and always have good news to tell you about, cryptocurrencies and things like that. It's just bad stuff. I mean, so look at FTX, and there's another exchange in South Africa, and the South African government said, hey, neither one of those companies are licensed to actually give financial advice, so be wary of trading on those exchanges. So out of nowhere, here's another country coming down on crypto. Um, but we'll see. Those are small things. Those to me are small things that are going on in a space where governments are really scrambling to try to figure out what the heck should we be doing. And it would be funny if the countries that are having issues with their own fiat, that are embracing cryptocurrency, turn out to do well in the future, and countries that don't embrace cryptocurrency don't fare so well. That'll be interesting to see. Um, Something else, Paribu is one of the most popular exchanges in Turkey. And guess what they just said? They're now listing Shiba Inu. That's big because that says that Shiba Inu is being accepted in more places with more exchanges, more popular exchanges. And it also gives more to the idea of they're not a meme, they're a coin. And that's something to think about as you move forward. The low price tag of Shiba Inu means that more people can afford it, more people can use it, and pretty soon you'll probably start to see more merchants accepting it. It's just something to think about. If you're willing to accept, Bitcoin, you can write code. I have the team, they're writing code to accept Bitcoin and almost any other coin that I want to accept on our e-commerce platform. And mind you, our e-commerce platform is a platform for other websites. So if we load it onto Rebel Reach, that means everybody would be able to accept it, and that's what we're moving toward. We're moving toward being able for my mother to sell her jewelry and accept, Ethereum as payment, accept almost any coin. I think we're doing Ethereum, Algorand, Bitcoin, and a few others, Shiba Inu for sure. But there are a few others that we're going to be accepting, maybe Solana. And that makes you stop and say, wow, I don't have to do a lot to get involved in cryptocurrency. I can get there. So that's kind of a big deal. I told you yesterday, India is going to implement a 30% tax on cryptocurrency. Well, today they just said that they're going to actually make the rupee digital. That's big. That's big, big. You're talking about the world's largest democracy. That means they have the most, people in their country that are on the democracy side. Um, I just wonder how that digital currency is going to work, and how crypto might still work in that country. So that's going to be interesting to see play out over time. Um, I think that taxing crypto is expected. I think that high of a number is ridiculous. Um, but again, we'll see how that plays out. It's not my country. I don't know everything about their numbers. I'm not an economist, but we'll see how that works out for them. Maybe they wind up collecting a lot of money because Bitcoin bursts up, and now they get a piece of the pie too. A little bit too much of a piece of the pie, if you ask me. And then you have Solana Pay. That's right. Solana has launched a new point of sale system that will enable merchants to actually accept Solana coin directly. That could wind up being huge. I find it interesting because you have um, you have different companies in the United States, different merchants in the United States that are using Square, which is the parent company name, is now Block, to accept payments. My son's cookie store, for instance, uses Square. But here's the thing. If you're already using Square and Square has crypto on it, wouldn't it just be a matter of turning on or cutting a deal with Block to work with Solana Pay? That would be interesting too, because Square is in a lot of merchants because it's so easy to use. No, I'm not getting paid by them to say anything, but their platform is very easy to use. I've seen it in action. Like I said, my son has it at his stores, sorry, plural. So yeah, that's something big. Here's something else. I'll probably put it in the comments below, but we just launched our first NFT. It's a silly NFT. We call it Zaddy Daddy. But we've launched our first NFT just to see what it's like. We launched it early this morning, and guess what? Somebody clicked on it. Didn't buy it, but they clicked on it and they actually favorited it. So it's amazing how fast we did it on OpenSea, and it's amazing how fast people can find your coin, see your see your NFT, find your NFT, see your NFT, and show interest in it. I think that's pretty cool. We do have some NFTs that we're working on to bring some history of New York back, and I think that's going to be pretty popular. So be prepared for that. We'll put the links in. We'll share those. But I think the real project that we're about to drop is going to be super special. All right. This is Eddie J on crypto. Keep an eye on the numbers. Like I said, just to wrap up real fast, everything is still in the red. We can take a peek at the portfolio. Oh, they want me to log in every single time. Like, what's that about? But we're still getting crushed. We're still getting crushed. Yes, Saitama went up a little bit, but that's a little bit over a couple of days. That's nothing. But we're still red everywhere else. I'm just in a holding pattern, waiting to see what this fake portfolio. Actually, I have like 3 or 4 fake portfolios that I'm working on different places, just to see like what different sets of coins are doing, and comparing how much the coins cost versus each coin, to see if I can do a little bit of that coin exchange if there are pairs there. So that'll be interesting. But just having fun, just looking at all this and seeing that, yeah, I used to be in the black, now I'm in the red. Want to cry a little bit, but it's all good. Well, hopefully it'll pick up, and we'll be all right. Anyway, Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. Bye bye.